I reckon this video will give you the shivers, so be prepared to share it around like wildfire. When the Prophet ﷺ became a prophet, he stayed in Mecca for 13 years. And in those 13 years, him and the Muslims were being tortured in every conceivable way, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Yet despite all that torture, which if you read about it, you'll realize the methods were absolutely disgusting, bone-chilling, you'll realize that Allah did not allow the Muslims to retaliate at all for the entirety of the 13 years. When the 14th year came, that's when Allah allowed the Muslims to emigrate with the Prophet ﷺ to a place called Medina, where Islam was finally an independent political state. And when that happened, the people in Mecca realized just how severe that was. So they gathered to try and discuss how they can stop the Muslims from growing even further, because otherwise that's a huge threat on the people of Mecca. Now really pay attention here. Iblis himself, Satan, took the form of a human being, went to Mecca and riled its leaders up to prepare an army to go and attack the Muslims. And around that same time that happened, Allah revealed a revelation in Medina, allowing and finally giving permission for the Muslims to be able to fight and retaliate. So what ended up happening was that Mecca prepared an army of 1,000 people, led by its leaders and Iblis himself, marching towards Medina. And in Medina, at the time, there was only 300 Muslims. To cut a long story short, when the disbelieving army got close to the Muslim army, suddenly Iblis, who was in the form of a man, ran away as fast as he could. And when the Meccans saw this, they looked at him and they said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I see what you do not see." And in the narration it says that he thought that the day of judgment had started because of the amount of angels that came down to support the Muslims. And when the two armies began fighting, we have authentic narrations of some things that happened which are just miracles. For example, one companion would swing his sword, and before his sword would even touch the disbeliever, his head would come flying off. In another narration, another companion had a sword which broke during battle, and the Prophet ﷺ told him to pick up a twig that was next to him and to swing. And when he picked it up and swung, that twig turned into a real sword that he used for every other battle until the end of his life. And that is the context behind this incredibly powerful verse you see behind me. So now let's go through it and make it relevant to everything we're seeing happen in Palestine right before our eyes. وَإِذْ زَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالَهُم. Remember when the shaitan made their evil deeds appealing to them, i.e. when he riled them up to prepare them for battle. وَقَالَ لَا غَالِبَ لَكُمُ الْيَوْمِ. That there's not going to be anyone that's going to destroy you that day. وَإِنِّي جَارٌ لَكُمْ. And I'm going to be there to protect you. فَلَمَّا تَرَاءَتِ الْفِئَتَانِ نَكَصَ عَلَىٰ عَقِبَيْهِ وَقَالَ إِنِّي بَرِيءٌ مِّنكُمْ. That when they approached the army of the Muslims, he suddenly ran away, ran as fast as he could. And he said, "I have absolutely nothing to do with you. I see what you do not see, and I fear Allah. وَاللَّهُ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. Allah is severe in punishment." So how is this relevant? Just as Satan, the greatest deceiver, deceived the Meccans into thinking it was a good idea to prepare an army to fight the Muslims, similarly Netanyahu has been riling up the entire world, including his little Zionists, into thinking it's a good idea to attack the Muslims. And now listen very, very carefully. Just as the Meccans thought they got away with 13 years of torture before preparing a huge army that massively outnumbered the Muslims, thinking they were finally going to destroy them, similarly, Israel has been illegally occupying Palestine for more than 50 years, and now they think they have the perfect opportunity to destroy Gaza off the face of the map. And just as the disbelievers at the time, the Meccans, were obliterated by small number and an army from Allah that they could not see, similarly, they too will suffer and will be destroyed, as they've already been complaining about seeing ghosts. So know, O Zionists, that when Allah says, وَأَنزَلَ جُنُودًا لَمْ تَرَوْهَا, that He sends down forces that you cannot see, know that you're not just fighting the Muslims, you are fighting Allah and His deen, and you will be destroyed, and we are all here waiting eagerly to witness that happening right before our eyes.